Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is that you may be in the world. Welcome to the Fight Room. We're doing a little rebrand here. I mean, a rebrand. We're actually giving it a brand. This is, it's the same thing that we've been doing, but I know I was thinking about it and I was like, Fight Room sounds kind of cool. Don't think anyone's using that one. Didn't even check, but they're probably not. And yeah. Also, luckily for you guys and me, my neighbors decided to have a house party. So I'm here on time. So that's lucky. Probably woke up a little bit earlier than I wanted to by like an hour and a half, but you know, we live and we learn. Hopefully it's them that will learn, not me, but it is what it is. So what we're going to do is I want to try some things because I have tried to make it so that I can make chats appear on screen. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Okay, so I've got one chat here. If I click on that, what happens? Oh, wait, hang on. I need to move it up. Nope, that's not it. There we go. All right. So we have chats that will appear. Daniel Cockrell, what up, fellas? What up, Daniel? How are you, mate? How is everyone feeling? How are we feeling about this card? I've seen Big Fraze just won by knockout against Tete, who is one of the worst heavyweights out there. He is dreadful. And you know, I don't know who actually fought before Dylan White. Let's have a quick look. Because like it's funny with these guys, they'll get one fight where they perform, well, they don't even perform well, but they're involved in a somewhat competitive heavyweight clash, and then they just live off it for a while, just become an opponent. So he's now lost back to back. Dylan White, Fraser Clark. Oh, he was TKO'd by Dubois in 2019. I did forget about that. Other than that, he's managed to build the dodgiest winning record I think I've ever seen. That is absolutely hilarious. Oh, man. I am, no, I'm buzzing for this, guys. You know, you'll see the content I've been doing in the build-up. This is a massive fight. Massive, massive fight. We have all kinds of stuff for this. We've got scorecard, which we'll be using. I might score some of the other fights as well. We've even got a damn clock, people, so that we can sync. We can synchronize your stream with my thing, my stream. If you want to use my commentary during the fight, which as I am also streaming the fight, there's a lot of streams, but I will be streaming the fight so I can view the fight, which means we might be at different times. So we try and connect. You know how it goes. Big up my guy, Crazy X-Man. How are you, bro? What's the story, Morning Glory, mate? What you been up to? What did you guys make of the KO? Fraser Clark KO. I just saw a big shot and that was it because I was trying to get this set up, so I didn't actually see what else happened. Did he get hit at all? Because I imagine that the biggest test for him during this was getting hit in the face. To know that he's still comfortable receiving punches after that massive injury. Hell yeah, we got some comments rolling in. So we got Rhubarb Giraffe. Big Fraze did well. Well, that's good to hear. I think like Big Fraze is such a likable guy. He gave me some help with an interview once that I was preparing for. Like I just had a chat with him on the phone. He gave me some info on a person. So it's actually Jack Bateson, if any of you are aware of Jack. Anyway, we can get rid of the scorecard for now and the clock. But we will have stuff. That's the thing. Don't think I don't have stuff, because I do. What do people make of Shalom? Ben Shalom. Is it Shalom or Shalom? Shalom. I say Ben Shalom. What do people make of him? Because I get really mixed reviews. Like some people think he's sound, some people think he's a bit of a snake. I mean, I think all promoters have a little snaky tendency because that's the business they're in. They got to kind of screw each other over. Bethaniel, big up. Salute everybody. Salute to you, my friend. This is a nice message from Crazy X Man. Have a great Easter so far. Having a great Easter so far. I'm ready for some boxing. I thought you were telling me to have a great Easter. But that's okay. That is okay. Can I make this a bit higher? Yeah, let's do that. Because it's kind of in my grill otherwise, isn't it, a little bit? There we go, that's better. Sorry, this is my first time using this chat thing, so I've got to figure out where to put it because I got my scorecard. I'll put it at the bottom for now, but I normally have my scorecard at the bottom, so I can't have both at the same time. That's fine, though. Darius Horn. Fraser done a better job than Dubois. That's good to hear. I mean, 6 years ago, it was a very green Dubois. So that's fair enough. That is fair enough. But Big Fraser needs to step up. He needs to improve because I like him a lot, but he hasn't shown the qualities to make it at the top level yet, has he? Obviously, amazing amateur schooling, one of the best. It's just a question of whether or not you can find a style that will kind of get him to the top in the pro game. Crazy X fan. He's a very green promoter with regards to Benn Shalom. Yeah, but it's interesting because I feel like the way he's come out it feels different from the way other promoters came out. Entered the scene, I should say, because Eddie at the beginning was very he was very accessible, and Benn's not inaccessible, but everyone just raved about Eddie when he first appeared. Lots to do with the fact that he was just a breath of fresh air in terms of paying fighters on time, the way that he presented himself, the marketing, all that. And Benn definitely hasn't had the same impact, but that's not to say he's not good. It just means that, you know, you don't feel it as much. Thanks, mate. Happy Easter. Scotty Skippin, how you doing, mate? I bet you're excited to shadow Ade. Is it next week you're doing that for the Eubank Benn thing? Want to see Benn ironed out after he can have a great career. That's very nice of you. Very nice of you to allow him to have a great career after he gets ironed out by Eubank Jr. Yeah, I think Conor Benn will have a normal career. I'm doing my tactical analysis at the minute. It's coming out much closer to the fight than I want it to, but that's just the way things are at the minute. But I have the feeling with that fight, with Benn, that I think his athleticism is what brings him up to the level. Without that, he makes a lot of technical mistakes in there, man. And I think at some point he's going to get knocked out, but it's going to be a bad knockout, and it could be this fight. The reason I say that is because he's so reckless in the way he enters the pocket. And if you can time him, you've got every opportunity of stopping him, to be honest. It sounds a bit harsh, but it's just genuinely just what I see. Drops his hands so much, jumps in with his chin in the air. Yeah. And fighters cover up because they're scared of the power, but is a strong middleweight going to be scared of the power? Not the same way anyway. And I also think that Eubank has the quickest hands of anyone he's faced, which is, normally in the lower weights, people have faster hands, but I think Eubank's hand speed could really trouble him. Megalodon, what a name for a channel, Megalodon. Warren and Hearn playing piggy in the middle with him. They are a little bit, but I think promoters did that to Eddie when he first came through as well, and I think that's just part of the game, isn't it? You sort of get initiated in, eventually everyone respects you, and then it's sound. Oh, true. I forgot about that. Yeah. Not going to Eubank Benn as Ade got dropped as presenter. Yeah, man. It's pretty fucked, isn't it? Sorry for swearing. I don't normally swear. But yeah, it is. Yeah. I won't say what I know about that, but do I agree with it? F no. I think that's a ridiculous decision. Imagine building up this guy as your lead presenter, like the number one dude who hosts all your shows, has a rapport with all the fighters, probably the best presenter in the game, just comes across super well, really knowledgeable. I feel like he's got that presence that is going to help boxing appeal to more people, because he's got the professionalism, but he's got that fresh feeling to him as well, and he just comes across really, really well. So yeah, it just seems really counterintuitive to it seems really counterintuitive to replace him. I really, really don't understand it. So it is what it is. All I will say is that I think it can be hard to be a presenter and be someone who has their own channel and things. I can see how that would be maybe challenging, because I know when I was interviewing, I found it very difficult to conceive of doing stuff like this when I was also trying to remain neutral, because as an interviewer, you kind of have to remain neutral. So I reckon balancing the two would be hard, but yeah, I don't know. Ade, you may proceed. Bloody hell. That's not great. Mark Ant. Have you heard of a boxing YouTube channel called Fout's Boxing Theory? I have indeed heard of Fout's Boxing Theory, although I've never actually watched it. But a few people have told me that my tactical videos remind them of Fout's, which sounds like it's a compliment because apparently it's very good. But I try not to watch other channels because I want my analysis to be as fresh as possible. Sometimes I catch Jamie from Boxing Live, but like usually I will try and watch it after I've done a review, because I don't want to be looking for things that people have already said. And if I happen to notice the same things, then that's fine. That's good. But yeah, it's a difficult one. Even with opinion videos, I'll watch stuff after I've done my video. I don't want to get my thoughts influenced by other people. So yeah. Crazy X-Man, who'd they replace Ade with? I think it's the guy who does the Matchroom stuff. I think Ade said. I was watching his live stream before I came on mine while I was trying to sleep through the neighbor's house party. And yeah, I think he said the guy from Matchroom. So he's not bad, to be fair, but he's also not Ade. It feels, Ade's got that feeling of this could be a big card anywhere. Whereas I feel like a guy like that feels more like this is a British card. And I hope doesn't sound disrespectful, but that's just the vibe I get from the two guys. It's just how I feel. I'm sorry. But yeah. But you know what we should do probably actually is get some talking points up on screen, because I can do that. I can do that because I have stuff now on my stream. As I said before, I've got the stuff. Mark Ann, you remind me of Frank Begbie from the movie Trainspotting Lodge. You know what's funny about that is I grew up in Edinburgh, if you didn't know that, Mark. I get so many of these, right? I think it's just my hair, but I get Begbie. I had Begbie twice now. I get Tom Holland all the time. I get Tom Hiddleston a lot. I had what's the name of that serial killer? Oh yeah, I had Ted Bundy recently, which I personally don't see, but yeah, like it's a bit mad. It's a bit mad. I got told I look like weathered Tom Holland once, and I am a few years older than him, so I'll take that. But yeah, it's pretty hilarious. But anyway, yeah, I've not had Begbie before. Oh no, I've had Begbie only once before, so there you go. I feel like I look a bit better than him in terms of freshness, but obviously like a great actor, Robert Carlyle. So there you go. Right, let me just try and do this talking points thing. Here it is. Let me just... Which one is it in my thing? It must be this one. Yeah, there we go. Right, let me just sort this out. And then we can get some... Right. All right, we've got some talking points on screen now, guys. Sorry for the small delay. So, we've got Whittaker mindset, the Andy Lee factor. Let me just put Andy Lee just to make that clear in case people don't know who Lee is. Andy Lee factor, the Cameron mental game, the 10 rounds, and the judging. We will talk about all these things during the stream. So guys, if you've got any thoughts on those, drop them in below. Let's get back to the chat. No, it's not. It's not Todd Grisham. It's the British guy who does the Matchroom stuff. Or so I believe. Focus on creativity says, Sup, Henry. Any idea how long before the main event? I think it will be around 10 or 10. Well, we've got the co-main starting now. So let's say it starts at like 9. I'd say 10:30-ish, something like that for you in the UK, 10:30 p.m. I, of course, am in Australia. So, ATR. Yes, exactly. That is exactly it. AJ. Hello, Uncle Ben. Who's Uncle Ben? Is that a Spider-Man reference? If so, I don't think that's the character I look like, but maybe. Maybe I'll become an Uncle Ben as I get older. Scotty, who do you want to win, Liam Cameron or Ben Whittaker? Not what you think, but who you want. I'll be honest with you, mate. I try not to want fighters to win anymore because I want to be as impartial as possible. And I actually have genuine reasons for why I want both to win. Like, I want Liam Cameron to win because it's an incredible story and because he obviously deserves it as far as the word deserve goes. Because what is deserve? You know, good things happen to people all the time that don't deserve. Good things happen to people that don't deserve it all the time, and same thing with bad things. So, but Liam Cameron, you can say deserves to win this fight and, you know, have a great rest of his career and set himself up for the rest of his life, which has been a hard one. At the same time, I want Ben Whittaker to win because I think he adds so much to the boxing scene in the UK and eventually on an international level if he's good enough. So it would be a shame to see him lose at this point and have everything derailed. But, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, I have reasons I'd like both to win, but ultimately I try and ignore those and just focus on whether I think technically, tactically, mentally, people are going to be ready or not. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to brighten my camera slightly. There we go. That looks slightly better. I'm sorry. I'm a stickler for my setup, guys, which will keep improving as time goes on and as I get more money and resources. Charlie, we don't know. Focus on creativity. I'm in America, lol. East Coast specifically. I meant in terms of minutes or hours, my good man. Oh, sorry, mate. I'd say about an hour and a half, something like that. But do you think Ben will win, though? Do I think he'll win? I've predicted him to win on points, but obviously I can see it going in many directions because there's just so many unknowns. There's so many unknowns with this fight. There's so many intangibles that we just don't know what they're going to be until it's actually happening, which is such a stupid thing to say, but we're trying to guess whether or not Whittaker has changed enough, basically, whether or not he's adapted enough, whether or not he is recovered from what happened to him, whether or not he quit, all these things. It's impossible to know until he gets in there. That's the problem. We're not part of his camp. But my prediction is that he will have done what he needs to do and he'll win the fight on points. If he wins on stoppage, it will be absolutely startling and he will have progressed a lot as a fighter if he wins on stoppage. And, you know, power is something that is hard to develop. It can be done, but I think he might need a bit more time. I do think, though, that Kronkstar could get him punching through the target a bit more, and it is possible, so we'll see. Big Mike Gaming. Liam is a stand-up guy. Hope he can get it done. Yeah, man. I mean, it'd be awesome for him if he got it done. It would just be epic for him. So, yeah, I would be completely happy with that if he did, and equally, if Ben Whittaker wins, I'd be happy with that too, because I think that he's excellent for the scene. And if he is as talented as everybody thinks he is, then it's a good thing for everyone if he wins. How do I watch the fight? Crazy Axeman. This can be for the chat as well. Look, guys, I ain't going to promote anything untoward. So all I'll say is this. Google is a magical place if you don't have access to Sky Sports. You can figure it out. Well, the co-main's about to start. Should we score it? Or should we just keep chatting? What do people want? Let me know. I can score it if you want. But I've actually never watched either. Oh, well, of course I watched Sam Beckington, but I've never watched the other guy before. Who is it that's boxing? Because co-main. I Let's see. Lee Cutler. All right, yeah. So I've never watched Lee Cutler before, so this will be interesting. Eggington's a weird fighter, isn't he? Just loves a war. Just absolutely loves a war more than anything. And maybe could have done a bit more of his career. He had so many opportunities. But yeah. Let me see. Charlie. If he stops Liam, who should he fight next? Or who would you like to see fight next? I think... I mean, there's quite a few Brits in the light heavyweight scene, actually. Even though the world scene's not that good. You've got Callum Smith, who will probably get a world title shot now after beating Buatsi. You've got Buatsi. You've got Craig Richards. You've got... how have I forgotten his name? The Scottish lad from the Ingle Gym. You guys know what I'm talking about. His name's just completely dropped out of my head for no reason at all. Willie Hutchinson. There's loads of interesting British names, but honestly, I don't think he's ready for any of them. I think Craig Richards maybe. There's Dan Aziz as well. There's loads of guys that you can actually step him up with, but I don't know if he's ready for any of those yet. So, yeah, maybe a Lyndon Arthur as well. There's plenty of good ones. Anthony Yardy won't be ready for, so... Yeah, maybe a Dan Aziz, but he'd have to look really good for me to want him to do that, because, yeah, that's a big shout. But yeah, guys, let me know. Comment, please. Do you want me to keep interacting with the comments, or do you want me to score this fight? Because we're about to start, so I'm not too fussed about this fight, to be fair. All right, we're underway anyway, so I'll watch it while we're chatting. Should be an interesting fight anyway, because Eggington's always in difficult fights. He always makes it hard for himself. Lee Cutler moving around the outside. He just steps in and lands a little uppercut to the body. Focus on Creativity says you're on Triller TV. Very good, mate. Is that in America? Because there was some people asking where to watch it in the US. Crazy X-Man, I can't even find a British pub that's showing the fight. Really, mate? That's mental. There's no pubs showing the fight? I would have thought that was... I can't believe that. I thought lots of people were interested in this fight, but then I guess as boxing fans, we have a totally warped perception of what is actually popular. So, you know, there is always that. All right, yeah, we'll try and do both. We'll try and do both. I will miss bits of the fight, but that's okay. When we get to Whittaker Cameron, I will commentate properly, but for this one, we'll just chat still. Keep talking with Jarl. What a great phrase, by the way, Jarl. I am a massive fan of the show Friday Night Lights. I don't know if anybody else is into it, but at school, I watched the whole thing. Literally, like, an unbelievable show. And they all say Jarl because they're in Texas and that. Hey, Jarl. Unbelievable show. So far, Cutler is backing up Egerton a little bit here. Nice little hook to the body there. Kind of uses his forearm to push him back in the face, which is not great. I don't know what Egerton's got left. I mean, he's only in his early 30s, but so many wars. You know, I think people don't realize that age isn't just a number in boxing. It's actually about the damage you've taken up to that point that kind of takes away what you've got. That's why you get these heavyweights who just suddenly deteriorate, you know, even though they... Like AJ, for example, like, he's worse than Parker now, seemingly. And he beat Parker early in his career. So it's all about the wear and tear. I'm just going to watch the end of this round because it's quite intriguing, actually. Cutler's got that low lead, which... Well, they both have low lead hands, to be fair, but Cutler's is really low. It's like down at his knee. And I think his sort of primary defense is his legs. A lot of fighters are like that, you know. primary defense's legs rather than block or rather than, you know, obviously a bit of head movement. But that's the end of round one. I think Cutler probably nicked that from what I saw. Let's get to some comments. Sean McNally, I can see Cameron winning on points, but they give it to Whittaker. Yeah, mate. I think a lot of people are worried about the judging, and that's why it's one of our key factors on the side there. It's you know, it's always when there's a home show and there's a guy who is the money guy, there's always a concern that the judging will be a little bit biased. You know, that's just how it goes in boxing, unfortunately. Charlie, I think Dan Aziz would be a really good name at the stage. Mate, Dan Aziz might be too good right now. We need to see what happens tonight. Then we can start saying who might be a good idea for him, because, yeah, Dan Aziz is a good fighter. Gabe Buatsi, a good fight. That could be tricky. That could be tricky indeed. Alva, has Big Clark had a run out yet? Yeah, Fraser Clark beat one of the worst heavyweights on the scene with a winning record, Tete. All right, round two's underway. We own. Darius Horn. Is it Darius or Darius? If it's Darius, put your name Dar, then an eye emoji, then us. What do you think of Eubank Senior's comments? I did a reaction video to it, and I mean, you know, motivation can excuse things. So if it's because, you know, he's that worried about his son that he is, you know, and obviously everything that happened with his other son who sadly passed away, it may be because he's that worried about his boy and he's tried to get him to pull out the fight, and that he has done this as a last resort because he's like, you know, I don't know what else to do. But honestly, I think it's totally unacceptable that he came out in public and spoke about his son like that a week before the biggest fight of his life. It's not, people need to understand what I'm saying when I say the biggest. It's not the hardest fight of his life. It's the biggest fight. The most amount of money, the most amount of pressure, the most amount of eyes on it. His hardest fight would be Billy Joe Saunders or George Groves. Much, much better fighters than Conor Benn, and actually either the size of Eubank or bigger. So, but yeah, I think they're appalling comments. I really do. Even if he's got some valid points mixed in amongst what he said, the statement, you are a disgrace, to his son directly is just, oh God, I can't even better think about how I'd feel if my dad said that about me, especially on such a public stage before such a big fight. But having said that, I'm sure he's already told it to Junior himself, so maybe he was kind of prepared to hear that. So yeah, we will be doing a live stream for that fight as well. Alvo, pubs don't like showing fights because it makes idiots get rowdy. That's actually so true, man. Do you know, one of the biggest differences between the UK and Australia is that even though we seem very similar, the Aussies don't really fight. Like, they love their boxing here. And I'm sure I'm not speaking for every Aussie, but like, generally speaking, you go on a night out here and you don't really get any trouble. Whereas like, you go out on a night out in the UK and everyone's bloody scrapping. So I don't miss that about the UK at all. I really, really don't miss that about the UK. Mad. But anyway, yeah, you're right. If you get the boxing on, everyone starts thinking they're a world champion, don't they? They start shadow boxing and try and clip the guy next to them. It's hilarious. Eggington getting caught with a little left hook there. But Eggington looks game, although he is boxing a little bit more back foot than you might see normally. But of course, he, as is his right, is Eggington is cut. It's a rite of passage now. If Eggington boxes, he has to get a cut above his eye. But it's relatively competitive so far. There's nothing super clean being landed by either guy, really. Yeah. Darius Horn, Darius. Oh, Darius. I got you. Darius. Got you, mate. Because I try and remember all my subscribers, you see. In fact, what I was going to do on the stream before we get to the main event, I want to shout out a few people because I got some people who contribute here a lot, and so I want to read out everybody's names who contributes. Actually, if you're in the chat, I don't know how many people we have on the stream right now. Let me have a look. Probably not many, because I'm going up against a couple of big hitters like Ade. I've got about 35 people in here, so it's possible that some of you will be in here. But I want to shout out the following people. Mark Gilroy, mate, always buys my pay-per-view link, legend. Chili Tea, legend. Dr. Repper, legend. Michael Lynch, obviously a legend. Ricky Ellis, mate. Ricky's been here with me since I came back, basically. Great lad. Mr. Grandy, of course. Boy Smudger, Box Stars TV. Who else we got? Bethaniel, of course. I think Beth's in the chat. Or maybe did I see Beth? No, it's Crazy X-Man I saw. Crazy X-Man, obviously, shout out. Mashford, legend. Deviant Videos, legend. Saf_R, legend. Harry Lund, of course, a legend. My namesake, everyone knows I'm actually called Harry, not Henry. In my day-to-day life, which we'll get into another time when I'm more famous and it's worth talking about. Circle Door, Juden Dias, and Mr. Black Gold. There are more people who also comment a lot. I had to cut it somewhere, but those are all the people that are my top contributors on the channel at the minute who are commenting a lot and just contributing to the community we got here. So that's what it's all about for me, guys. I want to build this. I want to build this, and I want this to become, you know, a real awesome boxing community. And like the people that are with me now are the ones I'm always going to remember, because I'm sure we're going to blow up eventually. So these are the people that I will remember all the way through. Oh, nice right hand from Eggington. He's dropped his hands a little bit here, and he's sort of pot-shotting a bit more. Alvo, old Billy Joe, what could have been? Mate, what could have been? I mean, I think he went as far as he was going to go, really. I mean, he got the Canelo fight, was well beaten by Canelo. He was in the fight, of course, but Canelo, the way he feinted that hook to land the uppercut and bash up his eye, bash up his face, was absolutely sensational. And I think Billy Joe achieved plenty, and he was a very good fighter. And if he'd been American, he probably would have made even more money. Personality-wise, though, yeah, you got to get attention and all that stuff. But I just think that's who he was, and he overstepped the line many, many times. I don't think the promoters miss him, I'll say that. Although there aren't many stars in British boxing right now, but I don't think he's ever going to come back. I think that ship has sailed. Bethaniel, I saw Sinners yesterday. Amazing film. Mate, I'm keen to watch it. I've heard some good things. Eggington lands a nice body shot there. They're fighting in a phone booth right now. They're right in front of each other, trying to jockey for position. Cutler pushes him off with his shoulder, and then Eggington steps back and lands a 1-2, which was quite nice, actually. And Eggington's right in this fight. Oh, nice uppercut from Eggington. I don't know if many of you have watched Cutler before, but this is my first time watching him. And so far, it's incredibly competitive so far, to be honest. Eggington's boxing really well off the back foot. This is Eggington's round, and I think I didn't really watch round 2 proper enough to score it, but from what I saw, Cutler won it. So it's probably 2-1 Cutler right now, but that was a really good round from Eggington off the back foot there. Although he looks knackered already. Oh, Liam Cameron's being interviewed. Let's see what he's got to say. He looks relaxed, calm, confident. Good to see. He says all the pressure's on Ben. He feels a sense of freedom. Oh, well, they were interviewing Liam Cameron. And it got cut short. Anyway, Alvo. Good fight, this. Yeah, it's not a bad scrap, mate. Not a bad scrap at all. Millsy. Love you, dude. Mate, I love you too. I mean, I don't actually love you, but I'm sure the love will grow between us the more we get to know each other. But thank you for the comment, Millsy. I'm glad that you love me. And yeah, man. It's going to grow. I can feel it. Alvo. You have 8K subscribers. If you remember all that, you should move to Vegas and play blackjack for a living. Yeah, well, do you know what it is? YouTube has this beautiful feature where you can see your top commenters. And also, I do remember most of their names because they do comment so much. But I can go and get that list, and then I can save it on my phone, and then it means I don't miss anybody. But yeah, I remember most of the names. You know, Bethaniel, Crazy X-Man, Michael Lynch, Harry Lund. All the crew. This is an interesting question. Ippo Roll 5. How big an impact do you think Cameron now being a Queensberry fighter and the wider influence Frank has will play on the fight? Not much, to be honest, because it's a Sky card, so I don't know if that makes any difference. I think it helps with the contract. It's definitely better than being a free agent. And yeah, but I'm not sure. It's actually a really good question. It's actually a really good question. Because like maybe if a judge screws up, he doesn't get used for a Queensberry event in the future, you know? So there is that pressure there for a judge, maybe that wouldn't be there otherwise. So that is actually a very interesting point. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Could help a bit, actually. But we don't really know the inner workings. Cutler's now pushing Eggington back this round, and he's landing a few more shots. Eggington lands a nice right hand. Oh, nice little left hook from Eggington. Eggington only does wars, doesn't he? The dude doesn't know how to not get hit. I mean, he's someone he's gonna wear his damage after his career, isn't he? Because it's just ridiculous how much he gets hit. I'm surprised he can still do this. Like, how many times can a man go to the well? JM, evening chat. JM, did you name drop me? Missed the list. JM, what's your handle? Because it's only giving me JM in the chat, whereas I see the YouTube handles normally. So I don't know. Did I name drop you? Let me see. I don't remember you off the top of my head. JM. No, you weren't on my list, unfortunately, JM. You have to comment more, mate, and then you'll make the cut. Doc 101. I'll watch it with you, Henry. Big up, mate. Let's go. Oh, nice little uppercut inside from Eggington. Then a little hook from Cutler. Then another hook from Eggington. It's definitely a good scrap, this. It's the kind of fight where, you know, you score it if you're on your own. But I'm enjoying talking with the chat right now, so I'm not focusing on it. But we will score. We will score Whittaker. I've got the scorecard ready. I've got the clock ready. We'll do it properly. Circle Door. I also watched Cine yesterday. It was quite good. All right. Maybe it's worth going to the movies for then. You're well behind the live feed on Sky Sports. Yeah, that's the problem with streaming, isn't it? We all get different times. But I'll make sure I give you a clock when I do the main event so that we can sync properly. Well, we'll see about that, mate. Did Ted Cheeseman retire? He was punch drunk and he's only 28. I haven't seen him in a long time. Yeah, I think he must have retired. He got hit so much, man. And he didn't make that much money for his troubles, did he? So yeah, Cheeseman, man. He was a good boxer as well. When he actually boxed, he was good. He just got involved in so many wars. He always made it a bloody war. When he actually boxed, he was a good boxer. I don't know why he felt the need to always do that, but yeah. Yeah, he gave a lot to boxing. He had horrific gambling issues as well, Ted Cheeseman. I think that was why he kept doing it. But yeah, I'm glad he's walked away if he has. You never know, they might pop up again. Boxer have 2 biggest fights this week. Well, they've got Benn, don't they? Yeah, I was going to say that they don't have Eubank Benn, but they do have Eubank Benn. But obviously Eubank, sorry, they've got Eubank, not Benn. Benn's with Sky, with Matchroom, obviously. But it's on DAZN, so I think you can also buy it on Sky, though, as I understand it. Did you see the full card for Shakur versus Cepeda at Stack, bro? I haven't actually seen it yet because I was asleep while it got announced. Can have a look at that if you like. Let's have a look on my phone so I don't open more tabs, because that is the last thing I need. Nice body jab from Eggington. A little uppercut from Cutler. Let's see. All right, here we go. So, you know what? I actually did see this. Edgar Berlanga against Shiraz. Shakur Stevenson against William Zepeda. Alberto Puello against Subriel Matisse. David Morrell against Imam Kateev. It's not a bad card, is it? Not a bad card at all. Oh, Eggington's hurt Cutler there. Oh, Cutler comes back with an uppercut. My stream is buffering. Oh, Eggington is breathing hard, isn't he? I'm going to have to switch streams, I think, refresh the stream, sorry, before I get to the main event. By Balaga Shiraz will tell us a story, won't it? I don't think Belanga's that good, but he boxed quite well against Canelo. So if that Belanga shows up, he might well beat Hamza Shiraz. All I can think of with Eggington is Cheeseman from their Garden fight. Yep, Matchroom handles. Wait, my handles JM. Oh, got you. Oh, that's right. I remember you. Yeah, I watched that because you told me that. Thanks for that, mate. Yeah, I remember that. And that was very interesting, actually. I'm glad I went and checked that out. I don't know if that was Dom Ingle being, sort of bitter about Whittaker for some reason, but it did seem genuine. And he said he'd seen Whittaker quit before, so that was very interesting to me. No, thank you for that, mate. That was great. But no, the list I read was the people that are like the top commenters, so in the last whatever period it was. Darius, Eddie's card last night was pants, Ben smashing it tonight on Sky. Yeah, man, I mean, not every card's going to be amazing, though, is it? And they're really building Dalton Smith into that world title position, and the lad is good. RP, I am watching the fight and listening to you. Typical Eggington fight. Tough and in a phone box. Exactly, mate. That is every single bloody fight the guy has. It's ridiculous. By the way, if anyone wondering, I'm in round 6 of 10 at minute 1:30. So I don't know how far behind I am, but if it's that bad, then let me know and I'll maybe try and find another option for watching. Oh, that coffee is strong. Who else is on that card, though? Shakur Stevenson, Zepeda. Yeah, that'll be good, but I think Shakur will win that quite comfortably. That is my instinct. The trouble that Zepeda's had with Farmer. Shakur Stevenson's mega sharp, but hopefully Zepeda will at least put it on him, pressure him aggressively, and make Shakur work for it, and bring the best out of him. Great little dust up this, says Alva. Yeah, mate, what minute are you in, just out of interest? I'm in 13th second of round 6, because I just want to know how far behind I am. I've got to be honest, mate, I don't score fights unless I'm really watching properly, and I am not watching properly enough to give a proper scorecard. Because I'm half watching it, half talking to you guys, so... But I'm enjoying it, I just can't really score it, so... When we get to the main fight, I'll read comments in between rounds, but yeah. But yeah, it looks competitive. Alvo, are you new on the channel? Have you commented before? I kind of vaguely recognize your name, but I'm not sure. But I'm appreciating your contributions to the chat, that's for sure. Do you know what we need to do, actually, guys? We need to get a poll going for the main event. I've just had round 7 start. I'm in 2:38 of round 7, if people want to update me. Oh, your second's out for round 7. Perfect. Okay, cool. So we are pretty much at the same place. Let me do a poll. It's a very simple question for this poll. Who wins this damn fight? Whittaker or Cameron? Or mental ring flip draw? There we go. Rolling Thunder, back on the channel. I do remember you. What are you saying? Apparently, Beterbiev Bivol 3 is in the works. Am I the only one who's not really bothered? I thought the first 2 fights weren't as good as I hoped. I mean, man, it just depends what you like. I mean, I thought they were incredible fights. Super competitive, super technically close. Oh, what's happened there? Eggingson's just face planted because he lost his balance. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the fights, man. They were technically really amazing fights. The guys were at such a high level that they kind of nullified a lot of what each other was doing. Um, yeah, unbelievably good fighters. But I mean, if you want to see knockouts, you kind of need fighters that don't have the level of technical ability they have. You need someone who's much better than another guy, or you need guys who just fight that way, basically. Um, so yeah, but I understand what you mean because we have seen it twice now. Oh, good body shot to Eggington at the end of the round there. So yeah, I know what you mean, mate. But basically, long story short, I would love to see it again because it's so good. But I mean, is it going to be as big as the first two? Oh, it's hard to say. People do kind of get a bit bored of the same thing, and I don't know. Bataviev's getting older, but they've all been so close. It would be nice to have a decider, but I don't know. JM, I'm so buzzing for the Cameron fight. I really hope he can do this. I think if he weathers the early storm, his chances increase significantly. It's an interesting one, man. I do think the general consensus is if he can take it late, Cameron, that Whittaker won't have the same gas tank. But yeah, it'll be really interesting. Whittaker will probably have a fair bit of nervous energy, so he's got to really manage that. I see Whittaker warming up on the pads right now. I keep looking at Whittaker's stance because I believe he needs to be more side-on in this fight. He was very square last fight, and I just didn't understand why. I think he needs to be longer and more side-on, and he did look a little more side-on the pads there, but that could be absolutely nothing. But I'm intrigued to see how he postures up when the fight starts. Darius Horn. Gladiator Ben Eubank documentary, Pure Gold. Is that the one on DAZN, mate? I watched the first part of one on DAZN that was very interesting. Alvo says, does anyone know why Bivol didn't throw a left hand for a few rounds? Can't remember him saying he was injured or anything. Didn't throw a left hand? You mean his jab? I actually didn't notice that. I'm guessing you mean this in the second fight. I actually did not notice that at all. That's very interesting to hear. I need to have a think about that. Woohoo yippee. Damn, I'm a little out of the loop. They decided on 10 rounds after all. Mate, do you know what? Don't worry about it because they went back and forth so much it was hard to keep track. But yes, they did decide on 10 rounds. And it probably suits Whittaker, doesn't it? But, you know, Cameron won't mind. He's been paid more money to fight less time. And he'll feel like 10 rounds is enough to do the job after what was happening after 5. Good 1-2 from Cutler there. And a jab. He's found his range now, I think. Body shot. I don't think Cutler punches hard enough to get Eggington out of there. You have to say that how competitive this has been. That however good Cutler is, he's probably not going to go to the top level. But this is my first time watching him, so maybe he's normally better than this. Maybe he can improve. JM, yeah, 10 rounds. They paid Cameron more than what he got for the first fight for the cock-up. Did they actually? I know he got paid well, but I didn't know how much it was. Given how big the rematch is, that's actually entirely possible, which is insane. Oh, yes, Ross Kemp on your mum. Big up, mate. I always remember you because you have an outrageous channel name. 60-40 Whittaker for me. The face they paid out to secure the 10 tells me this is a competitive fight. Fact, sorry. Got you. That is... yeah, you're right. I think that it puts it more in Whittaker's favor having less rounds. They paid him over 100K. Is that true? Where did you see that? My God, that is a fortune. How much is he getting paid for the fight? That is an expensive mistake, isn't it? 100 bags. Darius Horn says, I'm on YouTube. It's on YouTube and it's the dads dressed as gladiators. I definitely haven't seen that. What, they're in the documentary dressed as gladiators, or it's like, is it like a AI mock-up? Because I can't imagine Eubank Sr. would have got involved in that. Mate, if they paid him 100K to get 10 rounds, that's pretty worrying. Like, why would you not just do 12 if you were that confident? Well, probably because they're not that confident. Or maybe it's just because they're just like, make sure we get everything in as much in his favor as we can. That's crazy. They're yelling at Sam Eggington to get nasty. They're yelling at him, find it, get nasty. If he goes and he's screaming at him, find it, fast and sharp. If he goes and knocks him out now, that'll go viral, that little corner talk, because that was intense. Mate, absolutely outrageous for Cameron. That's probably that might be his biggest purse outside of this fight. 100 grand. Uh-oh. Oh, they've just called it off. That's such a shame. Eggington's been stopped on cuts. Oh, it's going to the cards, though, because it's stopped on a headbutt. Interesting. Interesting. You don't see this too often when there's an A-side fighter. Normally, they just stop the fight. So it's going to the cards. Here we go. Yeah, it's definitely a close fight without me paying too much attention to it. You don't pay 100K unless you're worried. Exactly, mate. Otherwise, you just keep the 100K. Circle Door. The Bivol Beterbiev fights for me are up there with the GGG Canelo fights. It's so rare that you get guys at the highest level that are evenly matched. Exactly, mate. Although I thought there was a clearer winner in GGG 1. GGG Canelo 1. I thought GGG clearly won that fight. The second one was very close, but I think I had GGG by a couple of rounds. This is me looking way back. It's what I remember feeling. I remember I was gutted for him. And then the third one was a clear Canelo win because he was just that much older, Triple G at that point. But I thought Triple G was the better fighter, to be honest with you, when he was in his prime. But was Canelo in his prime then? Maybe just after that? That third fight. The third fight, obviously. The second fight, maybe that was the start of it. Cameron said he's paying off his mortgage after this fight. Well, good for him. He bloody deserves it. In this economic climate as well, paying off your mortgage. I can't even afford to get a mortgage. Mad. Teach. Big up yourself, mate. Agreed, Ross. Ooh, interesting. Fight will look at Avanesian versus Josh Kelly. That is an interesting comparison. It's kind of what the first one looked like, didn't it? Except just like a slower pace. Yeah, Kelly's had a similar. It's an interesting comparison that people have made. Kelly has a similar issue, or had a similar issue to Whittaker, in that everything he does is so explosive, and it works in the amateurs when you're going over 3 rounds. But when you're doing 12 rounds, you can't be that explosive. You got to have a less athletic style that you can, sort of tick over a bit more. They're still scoring the fight. Yep, they were. Oh, it's a 10-year-old thing. Oh. I should probably have a look at that. That sounds quite funny. Mark Ant. Concerns arose about Beterbiev when an atypical finding in a drug test revealed elevated levels of HGH testosterone before his fight with Callum Smith. Yeah, I do remember that. But I think it was like abnormally high, but it was also within like a biologically possible range from what I understand, which is why I don't think anything happened. I don't want to speculate further than that because I think it was explained. But, nothing surprises me in boxing when it comes to that stuff anymore. Oh, interesting. They fight with swords in the Colosseum like live gladiators. It's pure gold. What on earth? I definitely will check that out. That sounds mental. Hey Liam, how long before Whittaker fight? I am a little late tonight. Well, they just finished the co-main, so I would say no more than 45 minutes probably. I don't know who Liam is. I think you mean what? I'm Henry. Liam is fighting tonight. What? I don't know. Right, well, we're going to the cards, so we'll see what the result of this one is. How's this poll going, by the way? 54% think Cameron, 34% Whittaker, 11% think mental ring flip draw. That's only 35 votes, though. So, guys, actually, I should say bang a like on the stream, please, and vote on the poll. Just getting the result. Sorry, dude, I thought it was a different channel. 90 to 83 is wide. Oh, Eggington won. Eggington won. Good for him. Mate, this guy just never goes out of fashion, does he, Sam Eggington? Wild. Whose channel did you think it was, by the way? Gentrip Massini. I'm quite happy for Eggington. The guy just doesn't stop going, does he? Yeah, man. Like, all the predictions I've seen, on my prediction video, which has over 3,000 views, I think only 3 people predicted Whittaker. And that doesn't include me, because I also predicted Whittaker on points. But yeah, it was only a few people going for Whittaker. Nearly everyone's going for Cameron. So yeah. I think Whittaker will get booed big time, hopefully. Yeah, probably. Although he's at home, isn't he? So maybe not. He's at his home. It's a home fight for him. So yeah. Who we got here? Carlos Galvarado. What a name. Are you in Spain? Sorry for me to... I'm obviously stereotyping you a bit based on name, but I would assume you're Spanish. Hey, man, just joined the live commentary again. Really enjoyed the first time I saw you with the Davis fight. Looking forward to this one. Hell yeah, bro. Let's go. I'm glad you liked that. Because that was a good fight, actually. I wasn't even planning on streaming for that one, but I was just like, oh, it's on. I'm not doing anything. And that actually turned out to be a great one to do because there's so much controversy. Very enjoyable. Ross Kemp on your mum. Bad nights betting for me. Mate, don't gamble, kids. Don't gamble. The bookies always win. Unless you're me and you have a £1 football accumulator that's 13-fold in 2017. You win £2,000 and then you never gamble again, which is more or less what I've done. So I will forever be up. This Gladiator thing, I will check it out. Gladiator show was 2003. It was a decade after the second fight. They were not far off fighting shape. Ben starts on Chris and Chris baits him into apologize. Sounds funny. Never heard of that. 1 second before I read that comment. Whittaker's dancing backstage right now. Cameron on the pads getting warm. Has anybody noticed that the guy that holds the pads for Liam Cameron looks like that YouTuber? What's his name? What the hell is his name? The comedian guy. He was on True Geordie and all that for a while. Oh, what is his name? He was in that thing XO. What's it called again? Stephen Tries. Mate, I'm telling you, Cameron's Padman looks like Stephen Tries. That's so funny. Texas, just Carlos. Hell yeah, bro. Mate, I was just saying before, Friday Night Lights, one of my all-time favorite TV shows, if you're into that, or were into that, because it's so old now. But yeah, that's probably still to this day my favorite ever TV show. Incredible. What do you think the chances are Ben wins by stoppage? I mean, it feels like a low possibility outcome because he hasn't shown great punching power. Having said that, there's that angle of Andy Lee now being with him. So, is he going to punch more through the target like a Kronk fighter would do? Can you develop him into more of a puncher? Because obviously he's coming from the pros. He's got to develop that style. it's a really interesting thought. I mean, if he does it, it'll be very exciting, and everyone will get really, really gassed. And to do it on such a high profile stage would be huge for him. So let's see what happens. I can't answer that question, but it'd be incredible if we did it. Edam Jones says, I think Whittaker conserves his energy better this time and stays the F away. Yeah, I mean, people talk about running. I don't know if he'll run, but I think he needs to hold his ground a little bit better and make more small adjustments. He is so athletic. He's so bouncy. It gasses you. It makes you tired. The legs can't do it for that long unless you're Madrimov and you're a freak. He needs to do smaller foot movements and make him miss by inches rather than jumping out of range. But for sure, he needs to not be in the pocket so much. I said it in my game form analysis, in the pocket way too much. Ross Kemp on your mum. I'm not going to read that one out, but I'm sure you'll figure out your way through that dilemma. Hey, brother, what are you watching this on? I can't find it. Mate, I am streaming it, and I will leave that to you to figure out because I'm not promoting anything nefarious. Alvo. Stephen Tries, exactly. Mate, he looks like Stephen Tries, I'm telling you. When you see Liam Cameron's corner man tonight, he's got bloody Stephen Tries in the corner. Look, man, I'm not saying Ross isn't funny. I'm just saying I ain't promoting that stuff. CJ McKenzie. I don't know what is most likely, but I'm sure it's something that's likely. We're all caught up. Good for Sam Eggington. He's just the kind of guy, like, he's been through so many wars. You want him to do well. But further evidence there's no loyalty in boxing. I remember he was like Barry Hearn's personal little project for a long time. And is he with Matchroom now? He is not with Matchroom now, so. His face is an absolute mess as well. It is funny being back on Sky, isn't it? It is funny being back on Sky and seeing, Johnny Nelson, Anna Woolhouse. I feel like they were the staple of boxing viewership for so long, and I haven't actually watched a show with them on it for quite a while. It's funny at Sky, like, they just don't really move forward very quickly, do they? And I'm not saying these people aren't decent at what they do. I'm just saying that normally, when you lose a lot of viewership, as Sky have, to, the likes of DAZN, you sort of revamp, refresh. Oh, wait, is that even Anna Woolhouse? Is it her? It sounds like her. Do you know what's hilarious? I thought that was Anna Woolhouse, and it might still be, but I'm actually not sure if it is or not. Does anybody know if this is Anna Woolhouse who's presenting the show? Same accent. Different hair, but like same color. I need her to face the camera, but she got glasses as well, which Anna Woolhouse had. It must be Anna Woolhouse. It sounds identical to her. Ross Kemp on your mum says Anna Woolhouse love heart, which I assume means you think it is also her. But anyway, yeah, they don't change much at Sky. That's what I was trying to say. Anyway, guys, let's talk about the main event, because that's what's coming next. You a fan of Anna Ross? Oh, guys, so as we get closer to this, I'm more on the fence than ever in terms of who I think is going to do it. Yeah, that is Anna Woolhouse, isn't it? Sorry, I'm obsessed with this. Right. The poll, we're on 55 votes. Get some more votes in, people, if you're new in the stream. Cameron's on 53% right now, which is a big margin because 11% have it's going to be a draw. Wow, we're going to find out so many answers here. Whittaker's got to go in there and do this, and if it becomes a war, he's got to stay in there and war it out. Damn, this is going to be big. Ross says, Henry dig into Whittaker's weigh-in. I assume you mean the fact that he arrived late, is what I heard. And there was like a little bit of like debate over whether or not he made the weight on the scales. They were saying it was fluctuating. Did the early morning weigh-in rather than it was like a ceremonial weigh-in rather than the actual thing, which is good for the fighters because they have more time to rehydrate. Yeah, Ross, you are right in thinking that. I don't think it means much other than the dude is very, very big at the weight. Which is weird because he doesn't punch that hard, but he is big at the weight. You can see, like thickness-wise, he's not dissimilar from Liam Cameron, but he's got a few extra inches of height. So yeah, it's probably tells a little bit of a story. CJ McKenzie, I've noticed Andy Lee has done no interviews whatsoever regarding this fight. Mate, I've also noticed that because I was trying to dig them out to see what he was saying about things. Hang on a second, I've got to sneeze. There we go, I'm back. Back in the game. Yeah. He hasn't, and that's a very curious fact, but I guess, why would he? Why would he do interviews, if there's nothing to talk about? Samuel, do you think Cameron can knock him out cold? I don't think he'll knock him out cold. I think if he stops him, it'll be like an accumulation. I don't think Cameron's a massive puncher, but I think he punches hard enough. I could see him stopping him with a body shot or something like that. Maybe just Whittaker ending up having to take a knee. But I'd be surprised if he actually knocked him out cold. But you never know. Of course he can. Anybody can who's a boxer who punches hard enough, which I think he does. I think it'll go to points and be a draw again. Mate, a draw on points would do absolutely nothing for anyone. So that would surprise me, but it is possible. Chili T, I gave you a shout out earlier, mate, for being a big contributor on this channel. So thank you. And I do appreciate anyone who comments regularly on the videos. I really do appreciate it. And as I said, we're going to grow. We're going to keep growing. And as the channel gets bigger, I will remember you early adopters for sure. Even if Whittaker can get the win, he's still unlikable as F. Yeah, man. But I think that's part of the sell, isn't it? I mean, name me one fighter who nobody likes who doesn't make more money. I think the likability thing is everything. I think if you either have to be super likable people's champion like a Ricky Hatton, or you've got to be a arrogant, braggadocious prat like Floyd Mayweather if you want to make big money. So, I think he probably is all right, I think he's probably all right. I do think he's probably a little bit insecure as well, but he leans into it. I am still in Oz, mate, and I don't have any plans to leave currently. I will be back for a good period of time over the summer, though, UK summer. I've got a couple of weddings and stuff, and yeah, I will probably be in Europe for Crawford Canelo if it happens. So that's cool. Actually, the worst time for me to be there because I actually get good time here for the US fights, but whatever. The time difference isn't great, but I was woken up by my neighbors having a house party, so I was actually here bang on time. Yeah, they will be receiving a sternly worded letter tomorrow because it has happened multiple times now. Here we are. But yeah, Oz is good. Oz is very good. I don't know if anybody in the chat is in Australia. I doubt it because I don't think anyone's waking up this early for a British, what is essentially a British domestic scrap. But if you do, I have big respect for you. Big fans. He did a BKM interview. I missed that. Too late to watch now. So with the time difference, it's great for US fights. It's bad for UK fights. Although the main event's not too bad. It's just like 7 a.m., something like that. What time is it now? 6:30, yeah. So 7 a.m. main event's not too bad. It's the undercard that I kind of miss. Saudi's not brilliant either. The US fights are good, but the US is pretty crap these days. So whatever with regards to that. But yeah, there's sometimes Aussie fights on, but there's not much going on here in terms of boxing. Although there's a lot of boxing fans here. It's actually a big sport here. Teofimo is probably the most cringe, unlikable fighter right now. Yeah, man, but again, big pay-per-view star, isn't he? Or is he a big pay-per-view star? I think he's a relatively sized pay-per-view star. I don't know how well he does it. I think you've got to do it well for it to really matter, don't you? You've got to really convince people that that is how you are to want people to see you lose. Bruno Smith says Whittaker will win the first few or the first half, then Cameron will come into the second half, but I think Whittaker will edge a points win. I think that is a very, very good assessment of what the highest probability situation is. Whether or not that'll happen, I don't know. But I think that's a good assessment. Sweet Caroline is playing. In fact, I can get my scorecard up now. Because it's coming soon, isn't it? I'm going to hide that. I'm going to take that one all the way down. So let's go for scorecard. I will move this to the top while we're waiting. And I will get my clock. In fact, let's just hide the scorecard for now. I'll get up close to the fight. I'll do it all close to the fight, but just to know it's ready. Let me just get my controls open for this. The clock might get abandoned during the fight, I'm not going to lie. Just because it might be a bit of a lead to do it, but I will try. Big Mike Gaming, we're watching from Ohio. Hell yeah, Big Mike, that's sick. Angel Cruz was there for 7 months in Darwin. Do you know what? That's funny. Was Darwin good? Because I was living in Bali for 2 years and before I came here, and I was dating someone at the time who I still date, and I was trying to get her to meet me in Darwin because it was halfway, and she wouldn't do it. But then apparently it's cool, so guess we both lost out. Circle Door, I felt Tio was the only one who actually beat Loma. Yeah, that's fair. That's probably fair, actually, yeah. I don't think Haney beat Loma, personally. Indeed, computer wizardry. He is and should be a big star. Is that Whittaker you're talking about? Tiafimo is big in New York, I think, but not as big overall as he could have been. That's probably true as well. He needs more big fights, doesn't he? Ryan Garcia against him would be bloody massive, wouldn't it? Devin Haney, Tiafimo would be good as well. Yeah, man, that triple header in New York in a couple of weeks is an interesting card. All right, here we go. They're walking to the ring now. This is pretty bloody exciting. I'll get my clock up. Right, guys, time for final predictions. Get them in. Get them in the chat now. Cameron's about to do his ring walk. Oh, ring walk's about to start. Ben Shalom, Ben Whittaker, and Conor Benn are the most unlikable men in UK boxing right now. Is this a Ben thing? Maybe, mate, maybe. The Benns are not in good favour right now. I feel like Whittaker only had success because he went all out with no regard for the late rounds, and he was still not ahead after 5. I reckon Cameron is flat out better and people don't realise it. Mate, it's entirely possible, and we're going to find out tonight. Mate, much to my disappointment, Tio did make Josh Taylor look easy, and I am a massive Josh Taylor fan, so really disappointing. Having spent most of my life in Edinburgh, brilliant fight to watch. Liam by stoppage, says Yon about mate. Chili T, interesting. Skyvio's predicting Whittaker wins this. Yeah, most of the hardcore fans are predicting Cameron. Most of the casuals are predicting Whittaker. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think hardcores sometimes struggle to see that things can change a lot, which is why Whittaker's been heavily backed against. But the casuals see all the dancing and stuff and think, how can this guy lose? He's so talented. So the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. Liam Cameron is ring walking. Right, I'm going to go to the toilet before this starts. I'll be back in a minute, guys. All right, I'm back, people. Oh, Ross Kemp on your mum's Scottish. I didn't know that. Hell yeah, bro. Love that. I always get excited when I meet Scottish people because I spent my whole life there, pretty much. So it's always fun to meet Scots, especially the ones that travel. Good people. Yeah. Yeah, that was annoying. Right. Carlos says Whittaker by cautious decision. Adam Jones says the speed discrepancy is crazy. If Whittaker accepts he hasn't got the power to hurt Cameron and stops the flashiness, he could halve his output and do well. Yeah, that's probably true. Who do you think is the best Aussie boxer right now? Jarpatire is a beast. Yeah, man, Jarpatire. It's easy. There's no one better than him at that. Well, not that I know of anyway. So let's see. Let's see if anybody else emerges. But right now, Jai is the guy for sure. Right. Okay, Whittaker about to do his ring walk. I'm going to try and zone in now, guys, on this. So I'm going to stop the immediate chat replies. Still get your comments in, but I'll just take me a bit of time to get to them. Scorecard is up. Round clock is up. And we are ready for this. Make sure you score it with me, guys. So get your scores in the comments as we go. I'm very excited for this. I can't lie. All right. Scorecard ready. Lots of boost for Whittaker I can hear already around the arena. Wonder how that'll make him feel. Will he thrive on that? Will it make him even more nervous? He's going to get booed even more when he comes out, guys. Getting booed right now. Imagine when they see him. They ain't even seen the dude yet. Just this gospel choir. I was told he likes anime. I was chatting with a guy called... oh, what's his name? He commented on my channel. Sorry, mate. I don't know if you're watching. Really nice lad. Former boxer. Callum, that's it. Lad called Callum was messaging me. He told me that Whittaker loves anime. And you can see he's got this sort of anime-style sort of background for his walk, which is kind of cool. Gospel choir into rap music's pretty cool. And now he's dancing. He's wearing a robe called Jesus is King. He's come out to a song where they're saying, they thought I was dead, nah. And he's really dancing here. I hope this is the only dancing he does tonight because he needs to be sharp in the ring. Wow, this is exciting. He looks really confident, but like, I don't know if that's just to hide the nerves. He's rapping, he's dancing around. He's going to look like an idiot if he goes in there and gets knocked out, I have to say, but... Whittaker has a Dragon Ball sleeve. Yeah, he does. He does indeed. Oh. Oh, God, I hope my camera battery doesn't die during the fight. If it does, I'll have to run round and switch it. I only charged one because I'm an idiot. So I've got one on charge. Hopefully it'll be charged enough by the time this one runs out. Prepared as ever on this channel. Here we go. They're both in the ring now. Isn't it mad that Whittaker has a higher KO percentage than Cameron does? But then I guess that's just down to level of opposition. All right, here we go. I'm a bit nervous, guys. I don't know why. I think I'm just excited to see what's going to happen. New phonics, describe. Sorry, mate. I was just checking something. Yep. So they're in the corners and they're ready to go. The ring announcer's just announcing them, and then we will get underway. Commentator. Fair play. Thanks for the nudge. It reminds me of Wedding Crashers when he's like, what is he? Make me a bicycle clown. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Doc Wan, is Liam Cameron just going to take the money or is he going to give it his all? He's going to give it his all. I have no doubt he's going to give it his all. He's not that kind of guy, I don't think. Why wouldn't he give it his all? He can win. And he'll feel he can win after that last fight, you know? And if he wins, God, everything opens up for him. It'll be incredible. He'll be getting all the big fights. Well, he looks focused, Liam Cameron. He really does. He looks ready to go. People forget he's been a Commonwealth middleweight champion. Wild. You do forget that. And that's a much higher level than Whittaker's been to in the pros so far, isn't it? Boos for Whittaker. Like, everyone's booing. Whittaker acknowledges the crowd that are booing him. Damn. We're about to start, Gentrit. They're just being announced. Wow. This is going to be crazy. This is actually going to be crazy. Guys, bang a like on the stream, please. Do subscribe if you're new. In fact, have we hit 8K? I think I was like 1 subscriber off 8K before. Yes, we have. 8,000 subscribers officially for a guy called Henry. That is huge. But all I can think about is the next milestone, which is 10. So there you go. When I get to 10, we'll do some kind of watch party or something to celebrate. Because that's quite a milestone, I think. I think 10K is not bad at all. I feel like you're a legitimate thing when you get 10K. That's like, this is sizable now, to the point where you can kind of justify like doing it. People don't laugh when you say you're doing YouTube, you know. Not that I care anyway, but all right, here we go. They're ready to go, and it's about to start. All right, as soon as the bell goes, I'm going to hit play on my clock. Are we ready? Seconds out. Here we go. Here we bloody go. And we're underway. Here we go. Right, I'm going to focus, guys. Jab from Whittaker, moves off to the side. I expect to see him pivoting around a lot more. Takes a half step back there, jab. Measures, jab. Cameron fires a counter jab up the middle. Whittaker, double jab right. Single jab up top, right into the body. And little feint. That's what I want to see more in this fight. Feint. Feint, throws a jab. Another jab. He needs to settle into this quickly, though, Whittaker. He needs to jab, but not throw too many, because last fight he threw way too many. Takes this half step back from the Cameron lead hand, and it misses. Another double jab. And he is just trying to hold his feet a little bit more, Whittaker. That's what I want to see. More measuring, moving around the man. Jab, move. Whittaker is circling the man right now. Cameron with a little jab. Whittaker takes half a step back. And he is measuring right now. He's measuring more, and I said he would do that more. He hooks and steps off to the side. And he's addressed the crowd. Right hand to the guard of Cameron. Right hand to the body. Don't get carried away now, Whittaker. If he wants to win this, he can't get carried away. Whittaker looks more relaxed, I think. Jab to the body there. He's got using his lateral movement, as I said he would. Measuring. The fighter I compared him to that I thought he could learn from before, this was Paddy Donovan, and this looks a lot like Paddy Donovan so far. So. And then he's clinching, and that's better. Oh, punch to the back of the head from Liam Cameron there. and he's been warned instantly. That was a bit naughty from Liam there, but, you know, you do what you got to do. Measuring again from Whittaker there. More measuring, and yeah, the measuring is essential. Body shot from Liam Cameron there. That was nice. He stepped in, fired a right hand to the body. Liam Cameron's constantly on the front foot here, and he's going to keep applying the pressure throughout. Whittaker steps in and clinches. A nice little right hook from Whittaker as he exits the clinch there. Jab, jab, measure, measure. Yeah, much more movement this time. He's not staying in the pocket at all so far, Whittaker. Right hand upstairs from Cameron there, though. That was good. Whittaker came back with shot, raises his hand, but Cameron landed a clean shot. Cameron completely misses with a left hook. Whittaker pivots off to the side, lands a jab. Hooks upstairs from Whittaker to the guard. Nothing super clean landing from Whittaker, but much higher volume coming from Whittaker. Another little jab from Cameron. They both miss. He goes for a right hook to the body. Whittaker slips under the hook and runs away. Decent round one for Whittaker. I'm going for him there. I think that's a 10-9 round for Whittaker, but, you know, in terms of actual clean work, it was close. I'm giving it to him purely on volume in that first round. Round two coming up. All right. How do people have round one? Oh, Matt Borgenson. Thank you for the donation, mate. Matt always donates. Matt's an absolute legend. He says, Whittaker cannot sustain this for 10 rounds. Trust me, the pressure Cameron is putting on will come later. Well, we'll see what happens. Whittaker might start to hold his feet a bit more. And he may have done enough to tire Cameron a bit by then. Congrats on the 8K, says Plump Potato Rump. Thank you very much, mate. Bethaniel says, fight time. Big up, lad. Here we go. Round two, and we're underway. Just managed to hit my clock in time. More of the same from Whittaker, I imagine, this round. Jab and move. Right hand from Whittaker. Just falls short there. Double jab upstairs, jab to the body. Whittaker is carrying a very low lead hand, though, so I do imagine at some point Cameron will start timing that right hand, just like he did in the first fight. And Whittaker is moving in a clockwise direction, so he's moving straight into the line of that right hand as well. So at some point, Cameron will start throwing that right hand over the jab, I imagine. But Whittaker is also taking those half steps back a lot more, which means he's not in range in the way he was in the first fight. He's nowhere near in the pocket as much. In fact, he hasn't really held his feet in the pocket at all. There we go. Little body hook. Right hand upstairs from Whittaker. Right hand upstairs from Whittaker again. It's on the gloves, though, so mostly blocked by Cameron. Jab upstairs. Triple jab upstairs from Whittaker. Keeps moving in that clockwise direction. I talked about this in my preview. He really, really favors moving in a clockwise direction. And Cameron will start to read it over time if he's not careful. Cameron with a little jab there upstairs. Whittaker clinches. And Cameron puts his forearm on Whittaker's face. Yeah, Cameron's nose is already bloody, actually, from that jab. Even though it's not super clean, you know, the high guard can only block so much. Whittaker with a light three-punch combination, just tip-tap, and then with a heavy shot to the body. Cameron comes back with a right hand. Whittaker clinches. Cameron looks a lot stronger in the clinch, I have to say. He always seems to make something happen for himself in that clinch. Double jab upstairs from Whittaker. Moves off. Right hand moves off. Oh, he's shooking him there. Lovely shot. Cameron's really hurt here. Shot to the body from Whittaker. That was a beautiful shot, and he's pouring it on him. He doesn't want to gas out here, though, because Cameron's got his guard up. What? The referee's waved it off. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I think that was an early stoppage. Oh, my God. Whittaker's stopped Cameron in round two. Oh, my days. That is insane. That was an early stoppage. I'm sorry. I need to see it again, but that was an early stoppage. Oh, wow. That was an early stoppage. That was definitely an early stoppage. Wow. Good performance from Whittaker. Damn, I guess he does punch hard enough, eh? Who was expecting that? Oh my God. Let me change the name of the stream. Damn. That's crazy. Wow. I want to see a replay of that. Oh my days, guys. Andy Lee looks delighted. That's crazy. Oh, Cameron's giving him a big hug because he knows he's made his career there, really. It does look too early. It does look too early, doesn't it, guys? We'll get to the comments in a minute. I mean, we don't need the bloody scorecard anymore, do we? Because that didn't go well. That's crazy. I think that was way too soon for Liam Cameron, that stoppage. Bloody hell. Wow. I mean, that was the first, like, real clean shot that Whittaker landed, but he set it up so nicely. I need to see it again. Let me see it again before I start saying it was a stupid stoppage. Oh, no. Ross Kemp, you had a nightmare with the bookies, mate. I mean, Cameron's not complaining too much. I have to see a replay. I can't believe how quickly that was over. Oh, dear. I mean, Dave Colball's saying he thinks it's fine, but I don't listen to anything he says, really, because he's incredibly biased pundit. Whittaker and Cameron are having a laugh now. Sorry, guys, I'm just waiting to see a replay before I comment on it. Absolutely crazy. Get in the comments and let me know, do you think that was an early stoppage? I want to see a replay first. Absolutely mental. So impressive. Technical knockout for Whittaker. That's absolutely crazy. Absolutely mad. And that puts Whittaker's career right back on track, man. Right back on track. Oh, Carlos, thank you so much for the donation, mate. That really means a lot. In this economic climate, YouTube will steal half of it, but I appreciate it so much. Thank you. I need to see this replay. Sorry, guys. I can't say anything. I can't say anything until Matt Borgenson's donated again. Guys, I really appreciate donations so much. This is a time-consuming thing. It doesn't pay me a lot, so I do really appreciate donations. So Matt says, people are going to say, wow, now Benn haters. What now Benn haters? But the truth of the matter is, no matter what, we remember what happened on that 5th round in Saudi. Yeah, man, that happened, and we analysed and reacted. Right, hang on, let me see. This is the replay. So he's... Oh, no, the referee's got that wrong. So basically what happened was, he landed a right hook. Cameron dipped his legs to roll it, and it looked like he was about to go down. Is that Howard Foster? Howard Foster's at it again, guys. Howard Foster's at it again. This guy loves an early stoppage. He was exactly the same ref in Groves Froch. Let me just see. He was hurt. Oh, no, he did dip his legs. But why would you not give him a chance to get countered and recover? But the right hand was huge from Whittaker. Cameron's not really complaining, but I still think that was a premature stoppage. Apparently, Whittaker went mad at the opposition corner after he scored the knockout. The counter right hand was beautiful from Whittaker. That first shot to hurt Liam Cameron. I have to say that it was an onslaught with no reply, but let him take a knee. Let him take a knee. He's dipped his legs, but he's shown he can still stand. He's taking a lot of clean shots. But I don't know. I feel like it's premature in a fight of this magnitude. I think in a lower stakes fight, you kind of accept it, but crazy. Wow, people are going to go mad. People are going to go absolutely mad. Wow. Let's get some comments up, and we'll listen to Ben Whittaker's post-fight reaction as well. Right. Bethaniel says they rigged it for Whittaker. Oh, I don't know, mate. I think that was just a premature stoppage, but you can't say it was rigged. He really hurt him there. He hurt him with a clean shot. Is that Whittaker's dad? He's enormous. It looks like AJ's dad. There's some debate going on as to whether or not they, whether or not he spat at the corner or something. A lot of people think that was too early in the comments. Circle Door says, damn, I'm glad I don't buy the fight now. Yeah, you won't miss anything in the highlights, mate. That's hilarious. What an improvement Andy Lee has had on Ben Whittaker, though. Unbelievable stoppage ref and he's sacking. I mean, he's, you know, it's the Froch Groves ref. It's Howard Foster. He loves it. Ross Kemp on your mum says 100% rig stoppage. I mean, let's say this. He did take the very first opportunity he had to stop the fight. So we'll say that as a fact. Plump Potato Rump says, Liam Defo got ring, but he didn't go out and he wasn't getting completely destroyed. He was getting his feet back under him. Guys, I remember I was in Ade's live just before this started and G-Man was criticized for saying it'd be easy for Whittaker. Boy, was he right. Boy, was he right. Wow. G-Man certainly knows his boxing, eh? For those of you that watch G-Man. Guys, please bang a like on the stream. If you're new in here, I will get to all your comments as we go. Super chats take priority. But I will get to all of you eventually, I hope. But I need to get back through this because there's quite a list. Alvo says that was bollocks. I mean, in the sense that it wasn't close, it was bollocks. In the sense that it was probably a little bit early, it was bollocks. But I think that Cameron was very hurt there. Whittaker probably would have stopped him. But he should have been given a bit more of a chance, I think. All right, here we go. Whittaker's being interviewed. Shall I? Let me play it. Hang on. Through the audio. Oh, no, I don't want to get blocked. I won't do it. I'll tell you what he's saying. Let's see what Whittaker says. Thanks his God, first of all. A religious man. All right. That's it, he says. But there'll be more. He's laughing, saying she's done the 12. Barely anyone predicted the stoppage. He said he knew he'd do it the way he was performing in camp. He said it's a cliche, but it's been his best camp. So much to thank. He said Andy Lee straight away. Andy Lee is looking pretty good right now as a trainer, isn't he? His career is going to be something. His career is going to be something. Wow. Wow. And he's been over in Ireland as well. He's taken his way from the distractions. He said there's an incident in the corner he's being asked about. I didn't see it yet. He's being asked if he spat on the corner. He's gone mad. Andy Lee stepped in. He said his emotions came out. He's roaring like a lion. He said a bit of dribble came out, a bit of dribble came out. But he didn't specifically spit on them. So, there you go. The interview. Andy Lee saying no one can underestimate what he's been through since the first fight, the amount of abuse he's received, the mental challenge. I mean, he has shown himself to be mentally strong now with a performance like that. Ben Whittaker hype train's well and truly back on, guys. That was a brilliant performance. Super sharp. I still think he's got a vulnerability about him, though, that will make his career very exciting. A bit like an Amir Khan, for example. All the skill, all the speed, all the flash, but you can hurt him. You can definitely hurt him. Andy Lee's saying he is an emotional guy, did lose control, but it's only natural with everything he's been through. And I think that's a fair comment. We will be reacting to all this, guys. I will do a reaction video. When you wake up tomorrow morning, there'll be a video for you to see. Reacting to the fight, and then we're going into Eubank Jr. Benn. He's still being interviewed, and then we'll get to some of your comments. He says, fair play to Liam. And they spoke in the ring. He said, no one's ever hit me like that. Liam Cameron said in the ring. Fair play. Whittaker said it opened up the door. It's made him work harder. He's basically reinvigorated him and focused him. So, and we said before the fight, it might be the biggest blessing in disguise ever that happens. We didn't see him sitting in the pocket at all either. If he did, it was for no more than a 3-punch combo, then he got out. He wasn't sitting in the pocket when Liam Cameron was in attack mode, that's for sure. And that was my biggest comment. He measured more, constant jabbing, constant moving. It was very similar to that Paddy Donovan against Crocker performance, actually, which was the one I said he should look at. Right, let's get to some comments because I'm falling too far behind. Haters mad, laugh my ass off. Monkey West says, Cameron got smoked. He did indeed get smoked. James says, ref should never work again. Mate, I don't want to listen to Ben Shalom. We can stop that now. Right, let's just get to your comments, guys, because there's a lot of comments pouring in here. Right, guys, I'm going to try to get through these. I've actually fallen a bit behind. If you want your comment read out, yeah, for sure, then do a super chat because man's got to eat, and I appreciate them very, very much, but I will try and get through all of these. Clifton Dennis says, boxing is wild. Mate, it certainly is. You think you've got it all figured out. You think you know what's going to happen. I thought Stanley Jonas would give Boots Ennis a good fight, and he absolutely did not. So sometimes these really talented guys can just sharpen. Ben Whittaker's absolutely shown up tonight. You're on about, mate, says Lee Eaton's fuming. Mate, Lee Eaton got his man very well paid, so he did his job, and he has nothing to be fuming about. Whittaker, Cameron got the stroke of a lifetime in terms of the way that first fight went. And unfortunately, tonight he wasn't able to do anything. I still think he's better than what he showed this evening. I think he should have been given a chance to continue. But I think Whittaker probably also would have stopped him in that moment. There was plenty of time left in the round for him to do it. So Rolling Thunder says he wasn't even against the ropes and he was clearly defending. This does no favors to Whittaker. He's going to get mocked for that. I don't agree, mate. I think Whittaker still looked really good. I think he was going to knock him out. But equally, you're right. It was a bad stoppage. It was too early. He should have left it a few more punches. But then if Cameron gets knocked out cold, then we're saying he probably should have stepped in. So it's a difficult one, but I think he should have had the opportunity to take a knee, that's for sure. Is this the same ref for the Clark fight earlier? Mate, I actually didn't see who was reffing for that fight, but it is the same ref from Froch Groves 1. So make of that what you will. Focus on Creativity says, and why won't they show the replay? They did show the replay eventually. We got there in the end. So, yeah. James says, Cameron got hit with a good shot and ref stepped in and called it. Embarrassing stoppage, in my opinion. It was an early stoppage. But at the same time, we don't know how it was going to go. He might have really hurt him. But yeah, it definitely was early. And it's not for me. I mean, boxing is the name of the game, right? You're going to get hurt if you're going to get stopped. So Ross Kemp, who's been with us all stream, says, can't justify buying Sky fights when there's 2 dodgy early stoppages on one card. I need to see the Fraser Clark one. But yeah. You don't love it, do you, when there's an early stoppage? It's a bit ridiculous. I never actually stopped the poll, which I should have done, so I'm sure a few of you snuck in votes for Whittaker there. But anyway, guys, please bang a like on the stream. Let's get a new poll going. Was it an early stoppage? Was the stoppage early? Yes or no? Very simple. Fresh poll. Guys, bang a like on that, vote on that poll, sorry. Bang a like on the stream. Was the stoppage early, yes or no? Already read Carlos's comment out, but we'll just pull it up again. That was quick. Thanks to the stream managers from Texas. Dude, do you know how cool it is having people from all over the world watching you talk boxing? It's absolutely insane to me. As I said before, Friday Night Lights, my favorite show ever. So I have a soft spot in my heart for Texas, although I've never been. Spent a bit of time in America, but not Texas. And eventually I will go. Robert Maxwell. Big up, mate. I didn't like the stoppage. Ben looked good, but the ref robbed the fans. It's actually ridiculous. I mean, look, it gives Liam Cameron another opportunity to sort of build himself and get himself out there again. So Cameron's too nice right now. He is, mate, but he will definitely be back with lots and lots to say, I reckon, in the coming weeks. Bethaniel says early stoppage. They wanted to get rid of Cameron because of that 10-12 round debate. Shaking my head. Maybe, mate. He's definitely forgotten now, and he's made plenty of money, isn't it? RP says early stoppage, just seen the replay too early. I don't think anybody can say it wasn't too early of a stoppage, although we don't know what would have happened. That's the problem with those early stoppages. James says saw the replay, definitely a bad stoppage. James says Cameron is laughing about it 1 millisecond after the ref stops it. Yeah, he really was out of it. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I think, look, but he also was hurt, guys. We can't take away from Whittaker the fact that he did genuinely hurt him there. So It's one of them. The guy was hurt, but he was also stopped too early. Two things can be true at the same time. That's a knockdown, not a stoppage. Cooked ref. I mean, you have to give a standing count, and I don't know what the rules were about standing counts in this fight. Cameron really should have taken a knee to give himself time. Chili T, on the other hand, thinks the stoppage was fine in the replay. Right now, 84% of you from 38 votes think it was an early stoppage, so that's against the grain, mate, but also fair play if you think it was a fine stoppage. Rem on in mode. I believe you comment quite a bit, mate, don't you? Horrible stoppage. I think you commented earlier, at least. Typical Howard Foster ref. Well, as I say, guys, if those of you didn't notice, Froch Groves one referee, another early stoppage. Does have a tendency to do that in big fights where the home fighter might be in trouble. So, without saying too much. Monkey S says, good stoppage, no response from Cameron. To be fair, Cameron wasn't fighting back, and you need to see a reply, but his legs dipped. He didn't go down. I think it was definitely premature for myself, but we don't know if he saved him or not. He might have done, but the whole point is just supposed to let it play out and wait and see what happens. So, Rolling Thunder says, if the roles were reversed, Whittaker would have to face plant for the ref to stop it immediately. That is a very good point, and that is the damning thing about being the home fighter. And honestly, it's upsetting for us all. We want to see it play out conclusively, but at the same time, if Liam Cameron was going to get stopped anyway, this kind of gives him a talking point for his next fight. It gives him an opportunity to get another fight. He can go out and say he was stopped prematurely, and he can make that into a whole narrative, and he'll get more fights now. So actually works out quite nicely. So yeah. JM says, guaranteed that arena is about to empty so quick. No one wants to hear what he has to say. I mean, the crowd was definitely anti Benn Whittaker. And he is going to make his career as a villainous character, I believe. So he needs some dance partners, some good ones. But people want to see him lose. And look, he'll make a lot of money like that, for sure. Jay Polt says, no counting. I'm not interested in their shenanigans. I mean, yeah, it definitely felt unfair to not give a count. Especially, as I always say, in a big fight, you want to give them every opportunity to come back into it. So, yeah, that is tough. This is a good talking point from David. Whittaker has more power than people were saying. Very, very good point. He does appear to have more power than people were saying, but he set it up well. This was the difference this time, guys. Last fight, he was anxious. He was punching the gloves constantly. He actually set this one up, and it was a counter right hand over the Cameron jab. It was a really, really good shot, and I want to see the replay again, and I will probably do a tactical analysis of this fight when I get the highlights tomorrow. But in fact, no, I can't because it's Sky, can I? I'll try. But he definitely punches harder than what people thought to even hurt Cameron in the first place, and that is the Andy Lee effect. Andy Lee is a damn good coach, and he's got him sitting down his shots more, but most importantly, he's got him setting them up. You can't knock somebody out punching them through the guard unless you've got serious power. And he doesn't have that power, but he's got enough power, as we're finding out. Crazy X-Man, big up, bro. A fundamental member of this channel. Dang, what happened? That sucks to see that happen. So people will only continue to undervalue Whittaker. Yeah, it's a good point, and that will be another thing people will say. It will be a mark against Whittaker's name. That that it was stopped early, and people will use that as a tool against him moving forward to say he's not as good still. So, mad. Oh, Mitch thinks it was way too soon. Yep, that seems to be the consensus. What's the poll saying? 82% think it was an early stoppage, 18% think it was fine. That's 57 votes. Guys, do bang a vote on the poll. Do bang a like on the stream. Do subscribe to a guy called Henry. I've actually just, during the stream, broken through 8,000 subscribers, which is very exciting. We're currently on 8,008, so a few more have come through the stream. Thank you very much, guys. Amir Miro says, why not give him a standing count? It's a good question. You don't see them administered that often. I think that they will only do it typically if the ropes hold up the man. Standing counts are typically for amateur boxing, and I don't know what the rules were in this fight because I know they vary from pro fight to pro fight. But yeah, you don't often see standing counts given. So yeah, he kind of has to take a knee to initiate that count if that's what he wants. All the ropes have to hold him up. Space Dragon says, I think it was early. Seems to be the consensus. Scotty Skippin says, wow, ref. Yeah, I mean, what more words do you need than wow, ref? Armich says, let's be honest, it could well have been rigged. I mean, they may have said, if there's an opportunity to stop it, then you do it. But rigged is a bit far because at the end of the day, he did land a big, powerful shot. He was hurt. He looked like he could have been stopped in the next 5 to 10 seconds from that moment. So, rigged's strong, but was it leaning in Whittaker's favor in terms of decision-making? Maybe. I mean, probably. Good punch for sure, but I think he could have survived Benn's onslaught. That's the thing, mate. We're never going to know now. We're never going to bloody know now, are we? So, but look, if Liam Cameron can go out and get some wins, maybe he can force a third fight at some point. But he's a bit old now, so maybe not. Bethaniel says they're going to match make Benn like crazy for now on. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult fighter to match moving forward. And I think we were talking about Dan Aziz earlier in this stream. I think that's a tough fight for him. I do, but an interesting one. Don't know if they'll feel he's ready for it. They won't want to risk him, but you know, it's another 6 months under Andy Lee, and who knows how good he could be, because he looks a lot better tonight. Forget the early stoppage. He looks a lot better. I mean, this is more controversy for boxing fans, right? This is more chaos. This is only going to add to the furore around Ben Whittaker and make him even more, you know, known. It's going to get even more buzz around the fight. So yeah, it's just more controversy. It's probably a good thing for his career overall. People are now waiting for him to be stopped. He joins Jake Paul on the list. I mean, it's a classic trope, isn't it? Become the fighter that everybody wants to see get knocked out. That's the key to success in this game. Why the ref didn't do a 10-second count? He didn't go down, mate, and they don't always do standing counts for whatever reason. I'm not sure exactly what the rules are around it. I'd have to check. RO says, you all wanted your boy to get brain damage. Your boy was stopped. Get over it, blokes. Mate, look, it's a good point. Like, he may have been prevented from being seriously hurt, but at the same time, I don't think he was quite there yet. And he could have survived. That's the point, because he's in that gray area where it's like, he might get really hurt or he might survive. And the only way to find out is to let him get hurt. And that's a dark truth about boxing, unfortunately. Ben defo did good, but still feel like it was an early stoppage, man. I mean, yeah, bro. Better fight, better performance, landed the clean shot, but needed more of a chance. Adam Jones says, boxing controversy makes the world go round. Well, the boxing world for sure. He's still very early in his career. That was impressive, whether you like it or not. Yeah, it was impressive. It was a very, very good performance. Landed that beautiful shot. And whether he would have got him out of there or not is up for debate. And unfortunately for Whittaker, I mean, fortunately and unfortunately, it makes more noise, but equally now, more questions to answer. So, but the more questions, the more unknowns, the more that people actually sort of buy into a fighter in a fight. So, Randolph Solshucker, is that how I say it? I could be wrong, but Ben looked genuinely nervous and the gloves are off, which makes it hard for me to believe that it was rigged. Yeah, well, if there was a setup before the fight which meant it would be favorable to him, he probably didn't know about it. And also, he had to hurt him to get to that scenario, so it was still a good performance. Bethaniel says, let's see how they move Whittaker now. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, how do you move him now? I think you can be reasonably aggressive still, but maybe give him a couple more learning fights before you step him up. He's still early. Peter Packer says, so corrupt you guys are. Bells for calling it for Ben. I mean, I don't think anybody's a bell for predicting Whittaker's going to win. I think that's a bit much. But I can understand why someone wouldn't like someone saying Whittaker would win, because so many people don't like Whittaker. So Cameron was unbelievably popular going into this. So yeah. Going to try and get through a few more of these before we call it a stream. If you want to get your chats read out for sure, then do bang a super in and I'll get to it straight away. Persoxa says it was an early stoppage, but Liam was finished regardless. Possibly. This is the problem now. We don't know. This is what's going to cause debate and conversation. It was early, so we don't know if he was going to get knocked out. We don't know if he was going to recover. And again, it's the dark reality of boxing. You have to allow the fighter to get knocked out to know for sure. And like I say, it's a dark truth, a dark reality of boxing. So yeah. Skylar Wicker says, do you guys box, lol? Skylar, what do you think? What do you think about what happened? I don't know if you're asking if they're asking generally or if you think people don't know what they're looking at. Ted Gray says, Ben will get exposed again later in his career. I do think he's got a vulnerability about him. Even there, I could see he is hittable. He's definitely not a defensive master. He's definitely hittable. So I think throughout his career, he'll carry that vulnerability and we'll have to just see how he goes with it. But yeah, it'd be fascinating to see. Skylar Wicker, okay, so you're saying he was not hurt. I mean, mate, he's definitely hurt. But he wasn't hurt enough to stop it. I mean, you could see he was hurt because it was a clean shot. He was shook. He went back to the ropes. He covered up. He wasn't returning fire. He was caught on the ropes. He definitely looked hurt. His legs dipped. But at the same time, I don't think he was hurt enough to say it was the time to stop the fight. JPOlt65. Referee should have stopped the fight in the first round. Would have been the same thing. All nonsense. No interest watching any other of their boxing. I think that's pretty harsh. I don't know why you feel that way, but I thought it was, just a normal fight in round one, and it was warming up, and he landed a good shot, and it got stopped early, and that's it, really. I think frustration there, to be fair. Optic Gamer 37 says he was going to sleep if they didn't stop the fight. And again, it's entirely possible, but we just don't know. We just don't know. He didn't even get a chance to take a knee. That's the thing. But then again, maybe he would never take a knee, and maybe that's not in his DNA to take a knee. So hard to say. From 100 votes, 80% of you think it was stopped early right now. So that's pretty unanimous. Andrew thinks it wasn't that bad on the replay. In slow motion, it definitely looks a bit better, the stoppage, because you see how his legs dip. But at the same time, like, he's hurt, but it's not enough to stop him. I'm sorry, it's just not. But Vaniel says, hopefully Cameron can get some decent fights after this. I definitely think he'll get at least one more good fight, because he has that first result. His name's a lot bigger now. People really like him. He's a bit of a name now. He's probably a bit of a ticket seller. And there's the controversy to sell off the back of this one, because he was stopped early. Yeah, I think he can definitely get another big fight, for sure. I think he'll get well paid. So he'll be happy enough. Interesting point from Crazy X-Man here. I did not know this. Since this is Whittaker's last fight on his boxer contract, I wonder if he'll continue fighting under that banner or move to different promotions. Listen, the Saudis will have him. The Saudis will absolutely have him. The amount of money he'll get offered to sign for somebody else, I don't see how Sky can afford to let him go if they want to keep doing boxing, but at the same time, they can only do so much for him. So we'll see. But I don't know. It depends on the pay-per-view buys in this fight as well. He might be able to just build himself on this platform away from everybody else. Very interesting point. I didn't know that. Nitsudge. What next for Whittaker? And can he keep showboating if he drops his competition? Yes, but I don't see the point. He's not going to learn anything. He's not going to be doing that showboating at the top level. So it's absolutely pointless. I think you can add elements of it in where, if it's part of feinting or part of trying to cause indecision or confusion, a bit like Tyson Fury does. A little bit of a nod to the crowd from time to time is nice when a shot misses. Other than that, no more showboating to the extent that he was anyway, because he'll just get beat up and hit. Like in the first fight, when he does that stompy thing where he's moving his head and moving around, his body's there. He's there to be hit by a better fighter. So, and what next for him? I think people are talking about Buatsi. That's too soon. I think that Dan Aziz could be very good. I think that he'd have a tough time with the likes of Willie Hutchinson, so that would be a bit risky. So I think maybe Craig Richards. Craig Richards could be a really interesting fight for him. But yeah, something at British level still. He's not ready for anything beyond that yet, in my opinion. Develop him more. Will Bohanen says, nothing wrong with the stoppage. Cameron was badly hurt and stuck in the corner, not throwing back. Those things are all true, but still probably a little bit premature for me. Because he was on his feet, because he was blocking. But you're right, he wasn't throwing back and his legs dipped, so you kind of get it, but at the same time, he didn't take a knee. His legs dipped, so it's a difficult one. H says, stoppage was absolutely spot on. No punches coming back at all and was clearly heavily buzzed. It was going on way, and the ref saved Liam for another night. I mean, that is an argument that you can definitely argue he was saved for another night here. That things could have got really bad. So, Adam Jones says, this reminds me that AJ never gets credit for his fight IQ he showed against Klitschko when he dropped after he was quite out of his position. He knew the big right was coming. Yeah. Yeah. That's a fair point, I suppose. Lyndon Arthur is a good shout, but I think it might be a bit too soon. I think Lyndon is a tough customer for anyone who's not world level. Showed that when he beat Anthony Yard, and he's a good fighter. He beat Liam Cameron well. Competitive fight, but beat him well. And yeah, I think it'd be a really good profile boosting fight. It would be a good learning fight, but I think that's one for a couple more fights time personally. There's a couple more I'd rather see him fight first. I do think that he's maybe a slight level above Dan Aziz, for example, but that might be unfair. Let's have a look. Who's Dan Aziz fought recently? Let's see. So Dan Aziz has beaten the likes of Hosea Burton, Rocky Fielding. Would probably be his best wins, you'd say. Yeah. Burton, Fielding, they're probably his best wins. And then he obviously lost a UD to Boatsi, which was a competitive fight. Lost a majority decision to Lewis Edmondson. So actually, maybe Boatsi's perfect. He's meant to be fighting in Glasgow in April. I think that's on the Josh Taylor card. So get him out there, and then maybe you make the fight. He's 35 now as well, Dan Aziz. So yeah, that could be the one. Good British scrap. Oh, Mitch says, enjoy your content. Keep it coming. Thank you very much, mate. I enjoy you being here. And thank you so much for all the support, everybody. Do subscribe if you're new. We're up to 8,010 subscribers now. So I've had 11 new subscribers on the stream. We've broken through 8K, which I'm absolutely delighted about. And I just want to get on to 10K now and keep growing the channel. Feel like we're going places, people. Or so you will tell me. So we'll just have to keep going. Adrian Asperby says, so Fury gets to carry on round 9 versus Usyk 1. Where's the consistency? Well, exactly. And you know, that was a much more dire situation for Fury. He got a standing count as well because the ropes held him up multiple times, actually, in that sequence. You're right. There is no consistency. And Fury was definitely more hurt. I mean, I think on these big world level fights, you afford fighters the opportunity to get up typically a bit more often. And Fury has that reputation as well, having incredible powers of recovery. So you're right. The referees should be more consistent in the way that they apply the rules. Yeah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. I think it needs to be consistent, if nothing else, and that is definitely a big discrepancy there in terms of how Fury was allowed to continue and Cameron wasn't. So Mitch says, rigged probably is too strong, but boxing has a history, so it does make you wonder. Good performance from Benn, and agree maybe it's good for Cameron for future fights. Yeah, I think that sums it up well on my opinions as well. Baffanio says, would Whittaker go to DAZN now that his boxer contract is up? Matchroom is a bigger platform, etc. More eyes on Benn. Do you know what, mate? It's a good question. I don't know if it's a bigger platform. I think it's bigger in the eyes of the boxing fans, but I think Sky still has a large viewership that crosses over. I don't know what the numbers look like. I don't know how things are going in that sense. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm not really sure. Josh Medlock says he wants his pay-per-view $7 back. I can buy 8% off a dollar menu cheeseburger with that. Yeah, you could, mate. And people aren't happy about it being over so quickly. For sure. Pavel Datsyuk says, boxing living up to the name, lol, that was god-awful. A lot of you aren't happy about the stoppage. These things happen. These wins happen in terms of he could have knocked him out in 2 rounds anyway if it had been allowed to continue. And I don't know what people would have been saying, but disappointing that Cameron wasn't able to do more. But that was a very, very sharp Benn Whittaker. And he had a proper game plan. Made him miss, made him pay. Darius Horn says, Andy Lee done a great job as usual. He does seem to be the real deal in terms of a coach. I actually met and interviewed Andy Lee once at an MTK Global show in Scotland. And it was one of his first fights with Paddy Donovan. And what a great guy. He's so friendly, so likable. He was wearing old school like nurses shirts, like these short sleeve white nurses shirts, like Emmanuel Stewart used to do. And it looks super cool. And yeah, I like the dude a lot. I think he's an excellent trainer. Willie Hutchinson, Benn Whittaker would be a good build-up. Mate, that would be an excellent fight. It would probably do good numbers because Willie Hutchinson can really talk as well. Not necessarily correctly, but he's definitely loud and braggadocious, and his style's brilliant. I think he could be a real problem for Whittaker, actually. I'd be tempted to pick Willie Hutchinson in that fight, to be honest with you. So I don't know if they'll go there yet. I think Whittaker might want a bit more time with Andy Lee first. One landed clean punch in that last fight. Everything else, Liam caught in the gloves. Yeah, that is true as well. Couple of big clean shots. He was definitely hurt, but Wonky S says, exactly. When you watch the close-up slow motion, you can see Cameron was hurt, and the majority of those shots were landing cleanly, and he was not returning anything. I think a lot of it was on the gloves, though, mate. I will say that, but it doesn't mean they weren't hurting. To be fair. David says, I don't care if I get called delusional, but depending how fast his development is, I'd love to see the Benavidez fight in 18 months. I mean, the key phrase there is depending how fast his development is. because at the minute I would definitely not put him in there with Benavidez. But in 18 months, if he looks like an animal, why not? I think Benavidez would absolutely destroy him right now. I don't think it would be a competitive fight, to be honest. I think Benavidez would just batter him because he's so comfortable coming forward, Benavidez, and great head movement. I think he'd make him miss loads with that jab. I think he'd hurt him. Volume would be good. I think it's way too soon for Benavidez, personally. ATR, big up, mate. How bad was that stoppage, Mr. Fight? It wasn't horrific, but it wasn't good either. I don't know. It's a difficult one. People have different opinions on it. Right now, the polls are 121 votes. 82% think, yes, it was stopped early. Guys, I'll go for another 5-10 minutes. So get your comments in now if you get your super chats in now if you do want to do that. Yep, I agree with that, Bethaniel. Whoa, Benavidez is way too much. Let's move him slowly, David. Darius says, Sky Sports presenter looking fit as usual. Best thing about boxer cards. Bloody hell. That's not great, is it? Hayden Harris says, ref let Haney take life-changing damage, then stops this one. I mean, it's not the same ref, and different refs apply the rules differently, and Howard Foster's definitely known for stopping fights early. So, David says, Hutchinson versus Whittaker on the 5v5. I mean, Whittaker would need to be with Matchroom for it to be that 5v5, unless there's going to be a boxer 5v5. Can you imagine that? That'd be mad. I think that's probably a headliner in itself, though, in the UK. I don't know what fight makes more. I mean, the fighters make more in Saudi, but the promoters get paid by Saudi, which is why they do it there. But the gate receipts will be way higher on the UK cards, for sure. David says Matchroom signs Whittaker. Yeah, maybe. They'll definitely try to. And we're all caught up. Almost all caught up. Declan Johnson says, I think everyone needs to understand that if every fight was to be stopped due to a fighter not fighting back, wouldn't have Usyk stopped Fury in their first fight in the 9th round? Yeah, and I think there was an argument that he should have been stopped there, to be honest. But it also showed you that the fighter can recover. And so, yes, there's a good argument that it was too early. Bethaniel says, David is much bigger guy at 168. He's way bigger. I don't know, man. I think he's a similar... I think Whittaker's a big 175er. So I don't know if he is much bigger, but it's more the style. I think it'd be a bad style matchup for Whittaker right now. But that's just while he's developing. And finally, Wonky S says, yes, that fight should have been stopped. The Fury fight. But again, like, Fury recovered, so you can't say that because he recovered and he went on to box quite well for the rest of the fight. Guys, please, before I go, subscribe if you're new. Bang a like on the stream. Any donations, get in now. But thank you so much for being with me through this. Sort of 1,300 of you in the end, which is pretty good. I really enjoyed doing it. And it was disappointing the fight didn't go for longer. But what a performance. I mean, it was the most unlikely scenario, I think. An early stoppage for Ben Whittaker. I really, really believe that was the most unlikely thing to possibly happen. So, yeah, never assume you know everything in this game. I certainly don't, because I get it wrong all the time. I get it right often too, but, you know, it's... you just never know what's going to happen in boxing. It's just a mad sport, man. And you never know what's... And that was the thing I said all along about Whittaker. Such a high ceiling, so much potential, to the point where he's gone in there and done that. And I know it was an early stoppage, but it was still damn impressive, wasn't it? Just read this super from Adrian Asperby before I go. Bang a like on that. What did you think of the spitting incident? I need to see it again, mate, but the way he reacted when asked about it, I don't think he meant to do it. He may have spat at them, but it was more like, I'm raging at you, passionate, and some spittles come out of his mouth as he's roaring at them. But I want to watch it again. If he makes a clear, like, you know, you guys know how to spit. Why am I doing that? If you guys think that he did a clear spitting motion, then it might be different. So I need to see a replay of it. So hopefully I'll see that after this. And when I do my reaction video, I will speak about it. But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you so much for being with me through this. It's been wicked. Let me just see how many subscribers we're on now so we can sort of take stock of that. We are on 8,011. So we are getting there. Things are growing on this channel. We will keep moving. And hopefully the reaction to this does some good numbers because there's lots to talk about. And that will be out tomorrow morning in the UK. So that will be Monday morning for you. It is Monday morning for me already, so I'm going to go and get on with my day. Probably film my reaction video before I do anything. But yeah, guys, thank you for being with me through this. I really enjoyed it. You're all bloody legends. You're all epic. And we will see you all again on the next one. I'm going to try and do this again for Eubank against Benn. And yeah, lots of Doctor indeed. Lots of content to come this week. I'm going to do a reaction to this. I'll try and do a game film analysis of how he was so much better. It's actually pretty much exactly everything I predicted in my pre-fight analysis. And also I will try and do a game film for Eubank against Benn. I'm studying it. At the very least, I will talk about it in my prediction video. I'll do some kind of tactical breakdown video for that, even if I don't do the game film, but I want to. Yeah, but I think great schedule coming up. I'm excited to keep the channel growing, and thank you all so much for being here with me. As I always say, on to the next one.